7 months ago, I uploaded a video where churches were getting dropped. Yes, churches all over the map, offensively, defensively. It was ridiculous, and honestly, not a whole lot has happened since. There haven't been many changes to the way these churches work, and Red Phosphoru likes to test the limits of the game. So, I've got a couple games here for you. We've got some crazy action with these new fortified churches that were added to a recent DLC. So here we go. So just like some of the basics here. Fortified churches were added specifically for the Armenians and the Georgians. I'm lazy and I forget the name of the DLC, but maybe we can have Hardy added in there. Thank you, Hardy. So yeah, only 2 civs get access to this, and it is something they get in replacement of a monastery. Now, normally, monastery is 175 wood. You could just produce monks out of it, and you cannot put any units or monks inside. You just could put the relics in there, but that's it, right? Well, Fortified Church costs 200 wood, so it's 25 resources above that of a monastery. You could produce monks. In the Armenians' case, you could produce warrior priests, which is a healing melee attacking unit. You can garrison villagers and monks inside of this fortified church. It also fires arrows for any units that are inside, including relics. And I think perhaps one of the biggest things, which we will talk about here, is it builds incredibly fast. Like, crazy fast. And I talked 7 months ago about how I thought the build speed was ridiculous. And to be honest, ever since this DLC has been introduced, I did say, like, hey, I think something's going to have to go here. Like, something's going to have to be tweaked for balance reasons. Either, you know, the garrison, the arrows. Like, I've been saying how it's really, really, really weird to have arrows out of a church when there's no units inside of it, at least. I'm going to stop with my opinions right now. The point is, I wanted to explain the differences. Okay, that's basically it. The differences between, you know, the church and the monastery. So, Phosphoru's been doing this for a bit now. And he's over here playing as the Armenians. And all of his strategies revolve around Fast Castle on a map that most people do not expect to see a Fast Castle. At this point, everyone kind of knows that if they run into this guy, that this is what he's going to be doing, right? And he has been spamming it. And I think hitting some of his all-time high rank on the ladder with the strat. So, in the blue, we have Falcao. It's a player who isn't too active in tournaments, but top 100 player, plays a lot of team games and 1v1s. So he's a capable player. And he's gone for the Teutons. And his plan is to tower rush and try and freaking kill this guy as quickly as possible. And Teuton tower rush, pretty deadly. The towers have extra garrison capacity. And behind it, you have really cheap farms. So you could, like, nuke the opponent's eco with towers. And then add farms behind and adapt from there. Phosphoru, aiming for the fast castle, going to add a couple more villagers here. And blue's already got the villagers coming forward. Also, if you would like to be surprised / give me some bonus points for this as an American, this is not the Colombian footballer Falcao, who played for Atletico Madrid and Manchester United. This is not the Brazilian futsaler Falcao, at least to my knowledge. This is just a Brazilian player. Yes. Some of you will be like, what? I thought the Americans only knew hand egg. Yes. Hopefully somebody will be slightly impressed with that knowledge. But you guys also might not care at all. So, yeah. So this is a pretty standard Teuton tower rush. Bringing forward 7 vills. Phosphoru doesn't see anything yet. But now he sees 1 tower foundation, and now he sees 2 tower foundations. Now, one of my favorite things about this particular game, we're going to show you a few, is just how relaxed he is. And the other thing about the Georgians and the Armenians is they get the mule carts. So you can drop off wood, gold, and stone at the mule cart. So if you get tower rushed, you could literally just leave. Like other civs, it's like, oh crap, I built a lumber camp here, or I built a mining camp here. He's just like, oh, okay, I'm going to nope out of here. And you go ahead, you have my hill, you have my berries. Now he's got a couple extra pigs back here to be able to get some food. Obviously, you still need to get to Castle Age. But yeah, towers on the way up. Now, I want you to remember how long it took to build those towers and with how many villagers, okay? I could replay it, but you guys have the ability in the video. But, like, I think that's a really important point. You're also spending wood and stone to build this tower, all right? Only 850 HP. 850 HP. Took a while to build. Put that into your brains. Perfect. Thank you. Phosphoru going for the market. Phosphoru going for the blacksmith. And so now, like, I think Blue's realizing maybe Tower Rush is not the most ideal strategy, because he's like, well, what have I really done? But this gets really fun here, because he's like, he wants to do more damage now. And usually, you want to try and take Phosphoru off of like, gold or something. So that's one thing he hasn't denied. He might also be thinking maybe getting over here to this woodline and denying the woodline. Meanwhile, Phosphoru is walking forward. He's tried to use the scout to find his opponent's base. This stone should tell him his opponent is close. And so he's just kind of walking around in the middle of the map like this is normal. And look at Blue. Blue's like, where is he? I know he's coming. I know he's coming. So outpost here, outpost here, outpost here. And like when you see Phosphoru's scout walking through your base, you know he's hunting for somewhere to go. I don't know if you saw it, but there was a second there where Phosphoru was in Blue's vision, but he's just going to build a mule cart there. And Blue's just waiting. So he's waiting. He's got a lot of stone banked up because he took stone in the front and at home. This is kind of what happens when you realize the Tower Rush isn't effective. You just bank up all the stone, don't do anything with it. Okay, and now he just like casually finds Phosphoru here on his gold. And it just seems so like innocent and silly. And Phosphoru sees that he's been spotted, and now the Vils are on the way. Now, usually, if someone's going to Tower Rush you, or Castle Drop you or something, or Siege Push you, you just want to put a stop to it, and you want to just fight it back. So that's what Blue's trying to do here. He's like, I know... He's thinking this is going to take some time, so let's just kill it fast, and then I can Tower Rush at the same time. Watch this. Watch this. So we got, like, 6 Vils and a Scout. Now, he does get baited a little bit. Blue gets out of position. But okay, Church on the way up. Just started to be built by 6 Vils. It realistically was built by 4 for the first half of it. And it's up already. Now, I don't have build speed locked down here. Maybe at the end, we can add something. That's freaking fast, dude. That is freaking fast. And you can make an infantry unit out of it. So, infantry unit's on the way. This looks kind of awkward for Phosphoru, right? There's a tower here. It's a Teuton tower. No, actually, not a problem. Oh, there's Vils? That's so funny. Villagers? Oh, they're going to attack me? Oh, well, guess what? With a fortified church, it's like instant. It's obviously not instant, but it's pretty damn fast. And he just walks around, and now he can hop inside. And now it fires arrows. And so Phosphoru's going to just repair that. And what's going to happen is he's going to build another church right here with 2 Vils, because Blue can't do anything. Blue can't go attack these Vils because the arrows from this one will fire. And yeah, I mean, he's going to lose the villagers. Now, I think Blue wanted to say, this is so broken. He said this is so stolen. Maybe his sanity was stolen here. But yeah, that's a very quick game and an example of like, you can't Tower Rush the strat. The strat is coming to you anyways. You scout it, it doesn't matter. You can't stop the churches easily. I'm going to show you multiple things that people try, and we could kind of take a deep dive on this, but this is really strong. I want to compare the HP for a second. Watchtower, 850 HP. Church, 2400 HP. Cost of a watchtower, 175 resources. Cost of a church, 200 resources. The warrior priest that comes out of it, 80 HP, 11 base attack. It heals units. And then, of course, you can make monks. And with the Armenians, a detail which is kind of nice is you also get the relic. So, with all these rushes, it's easier said than done. But I think you can be really bold with it. You could just build the church in someone's face right away. And it's a lot of pressure really early into the game. And it feels incredible if you could just apply the pressure right away. But ultimately, I don't really think Blue chose the best strat to counter it. So let's dive into a couple more. All right, so here we have a game where the opponent is very familiar with Red Phosphoru's tricks and oftentimes does not opt to even engage in feudal age against any of these strats. Ultimately, like, if you were to simplify how Phosphoru's strategies tend to go, it's find the most overpowered thing as quickly as possible in the game, and a lot of the different like units and whatnot that's available in a game is Castle Age, right? And that's not necessarily new. Everyone has been night rushed way too early when they're learning the game. Like, knights are a good example and more of a standard example. But this church thing is like super, 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 super quick. And you know, you don't need to make as many buildings to make it as compared to a knight, right? And because you don't need the barracks first to unlock it. So Deeker's here in the blue. This is gonna be a fun game. Deeker tried to steal resources from Phosphoru to slow him down. If you're going fast castle, obviously you're going to need the resources, and Phosphoru sees his boars being stolen, and he is off on the case to try and stop this. Now, don't feel bad for Phosphoru, because Phosphoru will do this to other people as well. It is gloves off. It is craziness. It is incredibly fun to watch. Not so fun to play. If I play Phosphoru, sometimes he'll chat with me, and he'll say, you know, are we laming this game? You know, there's like bro code there, but that code does not extend to everybody. There are also times if I don't respond fast enough, my boar is already on the way back to his base. So, anyways, he's trying to stop this right now. And his opponent's doing a really nice job at bringing the Vil. And Phosphoru is actually trying to, right there, he's trying to kill the boar out here. Now he wants to kill that villager. And so his scouts are really important. He would love to get revenge. He would love to kill this villager. And the TC will kill the scout. And his opponent will take the boar. So this would mean, I mean, this is a massive lead. You've got what will be 3 boars available for Deeker because there's other boars here. He's got a scout to be able to find different resources, maybe find some random deer out there to push in the deer. This is horrible for Phosphoru. The only positive for him is he did get his cows. I think if he didn't get his cows, we might never see Castle Age as a possibility. So already he's going to need to adapt. We're going to speed up a little bit here. Now, this is maybe worth a watch if you want to see how Phosphoru would perform in a tournament setting. Deeker actually played Phosphoru in a second round of previous season of TTL, essentially a qualifier. And Deeker did beat him. Deeker is very prepared for that. And Deeker's played him a lot. And I actually have a couple games where Phosphoru and Deeker have played. Deeker's a really solid opponent for him. But yeah, look, he's finding the deer, so he'll get more food there. And he's got Koreans, which made me think a little bit. I was like, okay, great tower civ for defensive towers. That makes sense. I was thinking maybe archers, because Koreans have some cheap archers, but there is this Fire Lancer unit, which the Koreans have access to, which is, as I like to put it, very accessible. Meaning you can get it very fast, and it has lots of stats for a unit you can get out very fast. You don't need an upgrade to unlock it like you do need other things like crossbowmen or like pikemen. And of course, the Lancer is a recent addition to the game. So some people are not thinking they're good. Some people are not rating them. And other people are starting to realize they're a very, very strong unit in some key situations. So Phosphoru, to get food, he's actually just made the mule carts. Again, a situation where the Armenians and Georgians would be really nice to bail yourself out. Like, the fact that you can use this then later on is great. He comes out and takes the chickens. He comes out and takes a deer or so. And then he could just chill here and take wood if he wants to. Maybe he'll go finish that deer. But berries, gold, some cow underneath the TC, a tree right there to get a little bit of wood. I mean, they were talking tiny, tiny little details to get this build right. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's impressive. Phosphoru will build the market. Phosphoru will drop the blacksmith. The only thing he was slightly late on was just building the blacksmith, but he corrects that with a couple more vills. And then on the other side, we have a blacksmith and we have a market for Deeker. And Deeker also with a very nice build here. No real major difference. Deeker's actually down a villager. But of course, Deeker needs like actual resources to make things. Not saying that Phosphoru does it, but it's a different situation here. So maybe I should keep speeding up. The Phosphoru knows where the opponent is. Phosphoru knows where the main gold is and knows about the TC because that's where the scout died. And villas are on the way. And Deeker, I think, is just waiting for him. He's just looking around. He's just like, he knows he's going to come here. He doesn't expect him to come from that angle, though. And there are the vills. And so this right here, guys, is a natural reaction. This is a reaction which in any other circumstance is a good reaction from Deeker. He's going to try and just stop this from being built. He's bringing villagers. He's bringing the spear. Basically, if you match the opponent's... If you somewhat match the amount of military here, give yourself a second or two to make a couple lancers or something. Usually, because it takes a while to build a siege workshop or a stable, whatever it is, it's a very nice addition. But as we talked about, the build speed for the church is pretty insane. So, and villagers don't exactly kill villagers that quickly. So if he gets a chance, he's going to go for it. And he goes church there. Only barely building with 1 or 2 vills right now. Already at 30%. He's going to build a church here. Villagers are weak. Again, I want you to pay attention to how many villagers are actually actively building right now. Not that many. I mean, Deeker's killed a bunch of vills. Deeker's had a great reaction here. But this church is up. It will now fire arrows. And that will mean the other church can be completed. And that's going to fire an arrow. And so, like, you can't really sit next to this because it's 2 different things that fire arrows. If you sit underneath this one, which he's doing, Phosphoru could just put the villagers from this one into the next one. So we're like, I don't know how. We're 15 minutes into the game. Deeker's been church rushed. He killed 6 villagers there. So that's a good start. And the cool thing about the Fire Lancer, like we said, is it comes out very quickly. And Deeker should be telling himself, I've got the better eco. I'm not doing this weird church rush crap. I should be able to produce vills. And he can, in all fairness. So last game, we saw the game, like, end right away. Okay, but now you're in Castle Age. If you're Deeker, you've got options. So he's got his wood line. He's walling up so there's no pressure on the wood line. He's going to shift to stone to think about towers. He shifted over to this gold almost immediately. So really nice reaction. Now, I want to show you Phosphoru's eco back at home. No farm, so no food eco for vills. Lots on gold. Obviously, a little bit on wood here or there for a couple more churches. But he's taking this gold. And Deeker's going to drop a tower now. Notice the build speed. You know, that tower started a while ago. We were looking elsewhere. And, just gonna... I think you get the point. I act like I'm trying to, like, convince you guys. You might not have to agree with me. It's fine. Everyone understands that I think it built too fast. We'll talk about it later, but yeah, Phosphoru just moves off. So this is where it's like we're a couple levels deep into the strat at this point. It was 7 months ago I last made the other video, but here, like, if someone shows resistance and holds, he thinks relics and eco, which is interesting. And I said this when I first started making videos about Phosphoru. I said if he could actually learn to focus on his economy, he'd get better. And guess what? He's gotten way better on his eco. So he's got these warrior priests running around. Now, stat-wise, they're actually better than the fire lancers, but they do cost some food with the gold. And the fire lancers have some range and have big numbers there. But, yeah, relics are coming into the monasteries now. So I think this is a position that Phosphoru can never allow himself to lose. He's trying to get relics for his economy. And here comes the warrior priest to pressure. And Deeker's going to drop a tower real quick. He's actually maybe made a bit of a mistake here. But he wants to counterattack and do some counter damage, which is a natural reaction. And so there he goes with his tower. And tower will complete, and now his army comes home, and Phosphoru is going to have to move around and away from this. Deeker made a ram. He definitely wants to try and push, but that's tough when these units have 11 attack. So you need to have backups if you ever want to push these down. And already we've got 3 relics for Phosphoru. And just to show you what he's working with here, he's going to get this relic, so that would be 4. And that's some nice gold income. We have some farms at home, and I think he senses there could be a counterattack because he saw those units moving around. And now he's going to drop a church at home. So you've got, like, a defensive tower equivalent. And, you know, you've got the forward tower/monastery situation. And Fervor applies to these warrior priests. So Fervor's on the way. We have infantry armor, which also applies to the warrior priests. And this is starting to look pretty freaking strong, man. Houses are starting to go down. Behind this, we've got a siege workshop. And so from Deeker's position, you've killed the vills. You tried to put a stop to the towers. Or, sorry, the churches. It happened anyways. And now the warrior priests are going to move in. And he's going off into the darkness. Remember, he stole a boar, so he wants some counter damage. So there's his fire lancers. Phosphoru is underneath the tower now. Attacking the tower. Melting the tower pretty quickly. And Deeker's forcing up another tower real quick. And Deeker thinks he has a chance to surprise Phosphoru here because there's a lot of stuff happening. So he dives underneath the TC. And now it's panic moment for Phosphoru. It's like, holy crap, I need support here. And, well, he's going to build the church right there. No problem. Church is going to go up. He garrisons. And over here, Deeker, he fails to get the quick wall down. Which is unfortunate for him, because I think if he actually got that house down, he would have been able to kill those. And getting rid of 4 of them wouldn't be bad. Vil counts even. This is a good engagement for Deeker. And Deeker now is going to build up to a Mangonel as well. He's got a rocket card, sorry. I guess that's what it is. These guys are going to heal up. Yep, healing each other up like a bunch of bros. And Phosphoru is untouchable at home. He is still trying to harass on the front here as much as humanly possible. Aside from any of these strats, right? Aside from any of it, it's just crazy how fast it hits you. Like, honestly, to some level, it doesn't matter what the strat is. If there's pressure at a certain time, it's gonna rise you up through the ranks. He does a really good job at that. But it's a church, man. It's a church. I've seen enough games to know that he will put different relics in different monasteries. That way there's always coverage arrow fire for each church. Like, you could put them all into one, right? Because the one's on the front, but then he doesn't have arrows. So, anyways, these guys are going to run home now. And Deeker's still building up, still hoping he can push this back. But it has been increasingly more difficult for him to really do anything. And we're going to now have another church from Phosphoru to deny the woodline. So Phosphoru slowly starting to encroach in with some church action. New church moving into Deeker's town. That's on the way up with the 2 Vils behind. And you can tell he really is confident. He's going to drop with 3 villagers a church right there. He feels that good about it. Again, talk about bold. There he goes. He gets spotted, so he ends up deleting that one. This one is up. Those 2 Vils are garrisoned, so now there's some arrows firing onto the tower. And now these infantry units / monks are going to engage. There's also a normal monk that gets a conversion. And the warrior priests are just absolutely melting here. There was a massive numbers lead for Deeker. Deeker wanted to have that ram around to ram down any potential churches. That's not going to happen now. His wood line is having big problems. The church has way more HP than the tower, even if it's full HP at the start. And Phosphoru's been here, done that. He's confident. He feels like he could do this. Just like win the game with another church. It's already at 60%. But it doesn't go up. Turns out, rocket carts kill villagers. So that was a little bold there from Phosphoru. Might not be able to get back over there to finish that one. Remember, monks have 9 range, and Armenians get redemption too. So if you're worried about siege, you could actually just lean into redemption. But redemption isn't cheap. Crazy though, right? Just like crazy, dude. And it's just swarming all around them. But here, that's going to be a tower shot down. These things do really crazy damage. I'll have other examples where you could see that the churches are actually shooting down town centers at a pretty crazy rate. Actually, is it just a straight up difference with the pierce damage? Attack damage, pierce damage is different. You got... Oh, we're looking at armor, sorry. Yeah, I mean, I know the armor's way different. There's more armor on the church and more HP than a tower. Anyways, Deeker's like just stuck in this hell right now. Surrounded by churches. Nowhere to go. Not a fellow atheist in sight who does not believe in the way. And we've got all the relics on the map for Phosphoru. In the process of going around and finding these relics, he essentially finds if the opponent escapes at all too. And he knows there's no escape. And he's going to slowly build up for the kill shot here. Monks are converting some villagers and healing each other up on this side. And there's really no choice for Deeker but to try and push this back now. Now, this is funny because Phosphoru is kind of the big reason we've started to see this more from other players. Siege towers were nerfed. The ejection attack rate was nerfed because of him. He had Gebettos and Janissaries and Siege Towers, essentially would eject them immediately, and they'd insta-fire. So they nerfed the insta-fire on all normal units, but then this DLC came out with the Fire Lancers. Fire Lancers do insta-fire when they eject now. But look at this. This is ridiculous. They're both using their little infantry taxis. And they didn't insta-fire there, those Lancers, so I'm not sure what's up. But yeah, now we've got full armor on these Warrior Priests, and the Warrior Priests just completely shred those Fire Lancers. Not even close. The Rams are here as well. The Rams will take down that tower. Back inside the tower goes Phosphoru. And Deeker's going to try the same. But he is kind of out of firepower, kind of out of space, kind of out of hope, kind of out of wood, kind of out of belief that this game is AoE 2 right now. Like, this is insane pressure. Will be more villagers coming to build another church, of course, just to continue to encroach in here. And Rams do go down. So, you know, a little bit of a weird situation here. But that church is going to go up. And Deeker, he can't do anything. He can't counterattack against two churches that can be garrisoned. It's impossible. If he tries it, he's going to lose his units. He can't siege push because monks can convert the siege. He's in this constant state of losing ground to churches. And now the church will, you know, be in support of this fight, which the other ones really weren't. Yep, siege tower v siege tower. They both hop out. There's the insta-fire. And there's just a lot of warrior priests here. And of course, they will heal each other after every engagement. Fire Lancers, just not a very good unit against infantry, which this unit is, even though it's also kind of a monk. And the TC is going to go down. All the Fire Lancers will die. And the villagers are going to die as well. And I thought Deeker played a really good game. Like, I thought he played a really, really good game here to defend. He killed the 6 initial villagers. He immediately moved over to this gold. He built a bunch of defensive towers. He made Lancers. Like, he tried to counterattack. I think he kind of went down the list of things that you have to do against this. And it wasn't enough because it hits you so fast. And it is, at least in Phosphoru's hands, really, 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 really strong. So, my take remains the build speed is absolutely ridiculous. The build speed's ridiculous. The fact that it only costs 25 wood more than a monastery and it has all these bonuses is insane. Now, again, when this was introduced, I was like, I don't think it should fire arrows. I think that's unnatural that relics would fire arrows. That's an opinion that you could possibly have as well. But the fact that you can offensively or defensively build them this fast is ridiculous. And by the way, to anyone who's trying this at mid and low elo, I've seen some games. I don't think you realize just how strong it is. Just yeet them up. And I'm sorry if anyone gets church rust now, but yeah, just yeet them up. Just build them fat. I'm telling you, people are going to freak out. If you try and attack it with villagers, you could lose villagers. It is really chaotic, and it's really uncomfortable to play against. Phosphoru has been doing this for the last couple weeks now again, and he is currently 41th in the world on the ladder, 2566 Eloi, winning tons and tons and tons of games against really good players. Some of the games I just showed you are in here. There are other games I'm going to bring to the table where he's playing some top 10 and top 20 players, and this stuff is working, man. Now, does it work on all maps? No. Is this only on Arabia? Yeah. Is he playing any other map? No. I mean, you can go down the list of reasons why maybe this stuff is maybe a little bit inflated, but I mean, I can't do that. I can't do that. This strat's absolutely ridiculous, and it is OP, in my opinion. It is insanely OP. Now, the final thing I want to mention here is the reasoning why Phosphoru has done this in the first place. I feel like it's really important because, like, obviously everyone wants to win. Yeah, everyone wants to win, find the best strat, get as many wins as possible. Winning feels good. This all started because his other rushes, his other attacks were getting stopped by churches. This is the other names that this account, he's got a couple accounts, have. Can I nerf Georgians? Question mark. Can I nerf Georgians? Question mark. Can I nerf this goofy civ? So this all spawned like 7 or 8 months ago, 9 months ago, whatever, because he would have a rush. He would have an attack, which should, in normal circumstances, do very well. And then the church just insta-builds. It fires arrows to defend. You know, you could use some of the bonuses we just saw at play there. So I actually find that interesting that he wants this nerfed. I have talked to him, and he's like, dude, I think this is insane. I am doing this to fix it. So, yeah, that's the video. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of HP. There's a lot of armor, both in Pierce and Melee. There's the free relic. I guess for the Georgians, you have the work rate of the area. There's just so many bonuses baked into a building that, builds really, really fast. Now, I like the uniqueness, just like I like the uniqueness of mule carts and stuff like that. But it does feel like something's there. And I wouldn't want to just like completely nerf everything here. I actually think that Church Rush being some type of a strategy to like take a position on the map is kind of interesting and unique. What I think is just the number one thing which doesn't click and doesn't make sense really is the build speed. The build speed needs looked into. And in both of the games that I showed you there, if the build speed was normal compared to what, other buildings, maybe the rush doesn't work. And maybe you need to start further back with the attack. And of course, it does come at a cost to your economy. So I think like in that last game, especially, Deeker killed 6 fills. If it's normal build speed, man, that might not be a situation where Phosphoru could play it like that. He might need to be sneakier or mix in some other units or something. So I still feel like it's weird. Relics firing arrows. Like, I personally don't like that. But I've always been really picky and really particular about balance. There are some things that I just am quite stubborn on, and I will also admit that. So I think we'll leave it at that. If you want more Age of Empires, and I haven't uploaded enough videos over the last few weeks, I encourage you to check out the Extras channel. We have lots of videos going up there, really good competitive games that people play in Titans League Bronze. There's been quite a bit of viewership over there, so thank you everyone who's already been watching there, but wanted to spend some time, record some additional videos, get some cool videos up to the main channel, and thanks everyone for any likes or comments on the content, because this is a lot of extra effort when I've been live pretty much every day casting all the TTL stuff. I have some information on merchandise with the holidays coming up. That stuff's going to be coming soon for anyone who's interested in maybe a mug or a shirt for a friend or family member. Also, speaking of family members, we'll have an update on my low elo uncle soon, as well as some other things. So again, I appreciate the support, and I'll see you all soon. Hopefully, if you're up against Armenians or Georgians, you are not getting church rushed, because if you do, I don't know what to tell you right now. Build a castle. Build a castle and pray.